Welcome back to the Web3.js course, and this video we will learn about the web3-eth package. I suggest to start from this page. This is documentation, eth package usage example. So here we have how to set up environment, set and connect a Ganache network. We connect gateway network, it also works, and how to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. You can read and check everything you want. Also, we have here the list of methods of this package. This is not all of the methods, just some of the popular. If you want to learn more methods, you can go to documentation web3-eth, and here we have all methods of the web3-eth package. This is a lot. But I think you can start with some popular ones. Let's start from the code. I prepare some popular methods and let's try to use it and run it. First, I think the most popular method, this is the getBalance. We already used it before, but I want to, like as usual, initialize the Web3 instance, get some account, it can be any address in the blockchain, and use method web3-eth getBalance and send address as a parameter. And here we have the balance. Let's try to run it. Okay, we receive this balance because this is the Coinbase. That's why we have a lot of Ethereum on this account. Next method is also, I want to open this page again and go to this description, because here we have the beautiful description what this method do. For example, method getBlock. The getBlock function is used to retrieve information about a specific Ethereum block. Ethereum blocks are fundamental building blocks of the blockchain, contains a collection of the transaction and other data. So if you want to understand what is the method and what it should do, you can go to this page and read about this. Okay, so let's start to getBlock. To getBlock, we can pass the latest, it means what is the latest block in the blockchain right now, and try to run it. Okay, we received the block. This is object which contains everything about this block: current fee per case, difficulty, extra data, miner, hash, etc., etc. So everything you need to know about the block. So the next simple function I want to show you, it is get protocol version. Get protocol version. This one. So it doesn't have any parameter, just receive. You can receive the version of the protocol. And as you see, we can have the error here. This is because the gas doesn't support this method. So we hit the error. The method getProtocol version does not exist or not available. So it's okay. Some of the nodes doesn't support this or doesn't allow to use. So let's go to the next one. It's getChainID. Let's run it. Yep, and we receive the chain ID. And the next one is get Coinbase. We already use this one when we refill our wallets in the start. So it just returns the main account of the all Ethereum we have inside. So the getCoinbase function is used to retrieve two address of the Ethereum account that is currently acting as the Coinbase address of mining or the connected Ethereum node. The Coinbase address is the address to which block rewards are sent when miners successfully mine a new block on the Ethereum blockchain. Miners configure their Coinbase address to receive rewards for their mining efforts. But in our blockchain dev node, we have this address. We start a new blockchain with a lot of Ethereum on this, so we can use it to send Ethereum to our new accounts. And then we can run a transaction with this. Okay, let's talk about the transaction and sign-in functions. Let's start from the, for example, sign. The sign method is used to sign a message or data using a private key. This is often used to prove ownership or authorship of a specific piece of data or to provide cryptographic proof in the various Ethereum-related operations. So let's try to sign, I don't know, for example, this data. It should be hex string and send this address to sign. Let's get our Web3 Coinbase account. To the address and use it for signing. Here we are. So we have the sign data. The next method is the sign transaction. Let's get from as a Coinbase and create transaction object. Let it be some our Coinbase like from any address to. Value can be sent like hex string or begin one to send one away. Set the gas, set the nodes. For this we need to get transaction count from our Coinbase. It will be current nodes. And gas price to get gas price. And let's send web3-eth sign transaction. Okay, let's run it. So we have the row, this is data and transaction object already signed. And when we have this transaction object, we can send the transaction. So we can use the method send signed transaction. Get the Coinbase, make transaction object, sign this transaction, and send signed transaction with signing data. And we can send it and receive the receipt. Yeah, as you see, transaction was mined. Successfully we receive the receipt of the transaction. Okay, while we check these methods, we already use another one. For example, get gas price. So get gas price. Its function is used to retrieve the current gas price of the Ethereum network. Gas price is the amount of the Ethereum that users are willing to pay for each unit of gas when executing a transaction at the Ethereum network. Gas price is an important factor and determining the transaction fee in Ethereum for a transaction. So what we can do here, just get it from the node web3-eth get gas price. Let's run this code. Okay, and we receive this amount, and then we can use it when we send transaction to the blockchain. And another thing we already used is get transaction count. So the get transaction count method allows you to retrieve the transaction count. It's called nonce also of a specific Ethereum address because it's working like layers. each transaction goes up and up, next layer, next layer, next layer, and each layer have specific number, like nonce. It's just incremented, starting from 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So every next transaction should be next nonce. Why we need this? Because if we send a lot of transactions with the same nonce, it will fail. Because it doesn't allow to have the same nonce on the different transaction. So if you want to say multiple transactions, you need to, I mean in parallel send, you need to increment this nonce locally on your machine and send transaction with new nonce which should be how you think about this. It depends of your logic. Okay, so to receive this nonce, we just use this function, get transaction count, use address, and set which block we need to use, latest, or we can just skip this parameter and by default it's latest block. Get transaction count, sorry. Okay, because this address is new, we doesn't have any transaction in it. But if, for example, we get our Coinbase web3-eth get Coinbase, we have already a lot of transactions in it. So let's check the nonce of this Coinbase address. Yeah, 3. Okay, and next function is an estimate gas. It's very useful function if we need to understand how much gas we'll spend it. The estimate gas function is used to estimate the amount of gas that will be consumed when executing a specific transaction or invoking contract function. This can be very useful when you want to determine the potential cost of a transaction or function call before actually sending it to the Ethereum network. It helps users to ensure that they have enough Ether to cover the costs for the operation, or to understand, do we need to send transaction right now or wait when the gas price will be a little bit lower. Let's send transaction to some address, so it's like TX object, and make estimate gas for this TX object and receive the results. Let's try this. Okay, and we receive 21,000 gas will be used when we send this transaction. So actually, if we get the gas price and multiply to this gas consumption, we receive the Ethereum amount will be spent on this transaction. Also, I want to show you a very important thing for the front-end development. You can just use web3-eth like separate package. Let's install it. And make an instance and use all these methods which we already used before just from this eth. For example, eth get accounts and eth get balance of this account. Let's check. As you see, it works. So why it's so important? Because when we use this like a separate package, and if your application is simple and you need to get it just balance, you can use this separate package importing, and in this case decrease the size of the bundle, when you import the separate package of the web3.js. Okay, and also you can set some config if you want inside the web3.eth. So for example, let's run this one, set config. So for example, we have the configuration default transaction type. If we set this, we don't need to set it every time in each transaction, just set it in the web3.eth. So by default, as we see, it's transaction 2. And if you just set this config, it automatically changes it, and for next transaction after setting this config, all transactions will be with the type 1. Okay, I think it was the main web3.eth package methods which you can use. So if you want to learn more about the web3.js package, you can go to the documentation, read about each method here, or go to the documentation web3.eth, and here you have all methods of the web3.eth with detailed description like parameters, examples, etc. So we finished work on the web3.eth methods, and see you in the next video.